What is legal matters? Legal matter means any dispute regarding the rights or obligations of a party that arise out of or relate to the existence, negotiation, validity, formation, interpretation, breach, performance, or application of this agreement or any ancillary agreement. What is raising money? One of the biggest challenges entrepreneurs face is raising money for business ideas or growth. Unless you're independently wealthy, you are going to need a helping hand. But where to start? If you're wondering how to raise money for a business, we've compiled a list of some business fundraising channels you can take advantage of. How to raise money to start a business. First, crowdfunding. If you have a strong convictions about an idea, use the power of the internet to raise the funds you need. Moreover, you can ask friends and family to contribute to your crowdfunding efforts or borrow from them directly. People you know are often the best and safest way to raise money. Not only will they be more open to your proposal, but they have also likely seen your effort and dedication. Second, angel investors. Angel investors provide capital for a business startup in exchange for convertible debt or ownership equity. Third, bootstrapping. If you don't want to give up any form of ownership or independence, bootstrapping is likely the best option to raise money for a business. It involves using your own resources. Fourth, venture capitalists. Like angel investors, venture capitalists provide capital to startups, early stage, and emerging companies that show high growth potential. The difference is that they generally provide financing that often has higher rates of return instead of taking a share of the company. However, some may take an ownership share of the company. Fifth, microloans. There are numerous microloan options for those looking for ways to raise money for business growth or expansion. Loans remain a core option for businesses because they usually come with fewer strings attached, shorter payment periods, and in some cases, medium to low interest rates. Sixth, Small Business Administration or SBA. Another way of raising money for a business through government assistance is through SBA lending. However, it's important to note that interest rates are slightly higher than most banks.
Marketing law relates to the statutes, case law, and rules regulation pertaining to the prevention of consumer harm resulting or deceptive marketing practices related to the sale of goods and services. These laws tend to be particularly strict with regard to food products, drugs, medical devices, and financial matters. Marketing and advertising are essential the ways one gets information about a product or service to the general public and is the key to success for many businesses. But every business has a legal obligation to ensure that those marketing and advertising materials are truthful and non-deceptive or otherwise a violation of the law. The Data Privacy Act DPA of 2012, also known as RA 10173. Before you can send marketing emails or messages, you need to collect the contact information of your customers or potential customers. Yet, the actual process of collecting the information is far more complex than it seems, particularly if you're trying to collect it in a legally compliant manner. A. Laws and your privacy policy. Most jurisdictions around the world have privacy legislation in place that requires you to notify people before you collecting their personal information. For example, the easiest way to comply is to set a privacy policy on your website and require your customers or website user to agree to it when you collect information from them. A click wrap method is where your customer or user has to click "I agree" to your privacy policy in some way. This could be when they sign up to receive your marketing messages or when they make a purchase on your website. B. Security in cloud storage. It's important to reassure your customers that once you collected their information, you will keep it secure. Your user need to feel they can trust you. You can show them you are trustworthy by informing them about how you will protect and store their information. Republic Act No. 8293, also known as the Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines. As a marketer, you need to consider this legal issue to protect your own intellectual property, such as trademarks and copyright, by ensuring that you don't infringe on the intellectual property of others. Trademark. If you are sending out marketing emails or contacting people with flyers or advertisement, the first thing you will need to do protect is your brand or logo. Registering a trademark gives you the exclusive right to use a specific word or words, name, designs, or logo in connection with specific goods or services. Copyright. If you use original marketing language on your website or text and emails, you may want to copyright that text. Copyright relates to ownership of original works. If you work with any third parties who will write your marketing copy or text for you, ensure that their work is checked for plagiarism. You don't want to infringe on someone else's copyrighted work when sending out your emails or newsletter. Republic Act 7394, the Consumer Act of the Philippines, was enacted primarily to protect the consumer against false, deceptive, and misleading advertisement. The FTC, Federal Trade Commission, requires the advertisement and marketing message must not mislead consumer or unfairly affect consumers' behavior or decision about the product or service. Unfair or deceptive advertising is prohibited, which means that any marketing must tell the truth and not leave out any relevant information that the customers will be interested in. A. Deceptive Sales Act and Practices. Inducing a consumer to enter into sales or avail of services. Concealment, false representation, fraudulent manipulation. B. Product service and warranty. A contract between the buyer and the seller of a consumer product concerning the rights and obligation of both parties. Designation of warranty, repair, replacement, or refund. Duration of warranty, 60 days to 1 year following the sale of new consumer. Application of warranty. C. Labeling and fair packaging. Provide the minimum labeling requirements of all consumer products domestically sold, whether manufactured locally or imported. D. Price tag. All consumer products sold in retail shall bear an appropriate price tag. Label or marking indicate the price of the article. Consumer products shall not be sold at a price higher than the started in the price tag. Republic Act Number 10667, also known as the Philippine Competition Act, is a law that was signed into law by President Benigno Aquino III on July 21, 2015, and established the quasi-judicial Philippine Competition Commission to enforce the Act. The Act is intended to ensure efficient and fair market competition among businesses engaged in trade, industry, and all commercial economic activities. It prohibits and penalizes three types of anti-competitive conduct. These are anti-competitive agreements, abuses of dominant position, and lastly, anti-competitive mergers and acquisition. Anti-competitive agreements. Cartels are the most serious form of anti-competitive agreements, and their prosecution is an enforcement priority in many jurisdictions. A cartel exists when businesses agree to act together, control prices, and prevent new competitors from entering a certain market. This is aimed at driving at the profit of the cartel members while maintaining the illusion of competition. Abuses of a dominant position. The abuse of dominant position occurs where the dominant company, either individually or together with other companies, exploits into dominant position in the relevant market or excludes other competitors. This can be in the form of predatory pricing or dumping, tying and bundling, refusal to deal or exclusive dealing, loyalty or retroactive rebates, excessive pricing, anti-competitive mergers, and acquisition. There are several types of mergers. Horizontal mergers, where the merging parties are the same level of production or distribution of a certain good or service. Vertical mergers, where the merging parties operate at different but complementary level of the supply chain. And conglomerate mergers, where the merging parties operate in different product markets.